You encouraged by the Bucks despite the game one loss?
Absolutely, Sal. Giannis is only going to get better. And I'm encouraged by the Bucks because I'm encouraged by Giannis. Think about it. First off, you don't have to be no basketball astute analyst to realize that the Phoenix Suns are not going to go 25 for 26 from the free throw line and make 24 consecutive free throws, set an NBA record.
Yeah.
The difference in this game, and we'll get to much of it later, but the difference in the game was the difference in the free throws. It was equal besides that.
Oh, was it?
So, yes, I'm encouraged. Giannis, who hyperextended his knee just a week ago, comes back and gives you 20 and 17. And I'm like, oh, wait a second now. Giannis, you good for 20 and 17 at 80%? What are you going to do as you get better? I remind y'all, remember when James Harden rushed back that first game? He was 1 for 10 from the field, 0 for 8 from 3 in 45 minutes. All of a sudden, next game, Harden started cooking again because he was getting more healthy and more healthy as time passed. Giannis will continue to get healthier, and the Bucks will continue to get better. The other reason I am encouraged is because you got Giannis, you got Middleton, you got Jrue Holiday. That's supposed to be their big three. Jrue Holiday cannot get much worse. Like, he's been bad this playoffs with about 2 great games hidden there in between. Jrue Holiday can't get much worse than he was yesterday. He was like self-sabotaging this team. So there was a moment in time in the game where I'm like, Jrue Holiday, who do you play for? Because you had a wide-open three-point shot attempt that you pass on right there. Then you get the ball stolen from you, and they go down and they get a bucket. 5-point swing with it being an 11-point game at the time. Instead of it being an 8-point game, it turns into a 13-point game. It was these small swings like that I hope y'all paid attention to and caught that were the difference in the game. That along with the free throws. You have to be encouraged because of this as well. The Bucks don't ever win their first-round games. The only time they won the opening game was against the Heat, a team in which they swept. Against the Hawks, they lost the opening game. Against the Nets, they lost the opening game. I didn't look to the Bucks to win last night, nor did you, because we ended the show with predictions, and we told y'all the Bucks were not going to win.
Okay.
If you are a Bucks fan, if you are fearing the deer, there is still a lot to fear, because after you saw that game last night with Giannis, their leader, at only 80%, still able to give you 20 and 17, still able to dominate at times, it can only get better from here.
It can only get better.
Yes, sir.
You're banking on that. And I could tell you're going to go to the bank and it's going to say insufficient funds because I'm not encouraged by what I saw yesterday. What we used to call a game like that yesterday where, Milwaukee got off to a faster start. Even in the second quarter had a lead here and there. But for the complexion of the entire game, they lost that game in the mental scoreboard and obviously in the literal scoreboard. So we used to call that getting cruise controlled. That means you really didn't stress us. Like, we just got to a good speed and we just cruised. You know what that speed was? 81 points from the big three, CP3, Book, and Eaton. And y'all got 59 points from Giannis, Middleton, and Holiday. Now, you can sit here like you did and say, Giannis is going to get better. One, give Dr. Wiley his money. Dr. Wiley told you. Laughing ain't gonna help me in my ego. I told you Giannis is gonna be fine and Giannis was gonna play. And Giannis was fine and Giannis did play. But this banking on Giannis getting better, that's where I gotta stop a little short. Because I know when players lose games, they just simply have to look at the scoreboard to tell them. But you know when when a host loses a game, you know what he does? He ISOs a player here. Jrue Holiday, what are you doing on this one possession? Hey, bro, it's 48 minutes worth of this cooking out there that Jrue Holiday and the entire Bucks roster have come to understand. You tell me that no team is going to shoot like that again from the free throw line. You say it's never going to happen again.
Sir.
Despite this being the number 2 free throw shooting team of all time, only behind my Clippers. Number 2, but you say they can't do it again? Okay, that's fine. You know what also won't happen again? That the Bucks will go out there and shoot like they did from the three-point line, plus 15 from the three-point line. That's not the law of averages that you always profess. So let's just say that evened itself out. They had their best three-point shooting game, the Bucks did, of the entire postseason. Now, if Coach comes back in and say, hey, guys, we're killing it from 3, most guys in there saying, we winning. No, we ain't. We getting handled out there, bruh. You get handled when you shoot the 3 like they did in a game that is predicated on the 3 ball. There's no signs of encouragement. There's only signs of disappointment of what's yet to come.
So the reason I rarely ever start a topic with my best take.
Oh, I've noticed.
Is because I try to hold that big punch. I try to hold that right hook to make sure I can knock you out a little
But why is it
later on in
leading
the
if it's
15
your right
minutes.
hook? I'm not trying.
That's the reason I don't start. I don't start. You know, I pepper you with my lefts. I pepper you with my secondary and my tertiary takes. I pepper you with my left. But I hold on because I got to make sure that I don't shoot my best shot too soon. The Phoenix Suns did yesterday with Chris Paul. Chris Paul is good for one 30-plus point game a series. Okay. Why do we know that? Because he averages 19 points in this whole playoffs.
Okay.
Second series against the Nuggets, he had a 37-point game. Of his age, that was one of the highest we had ever seen in playoff history. Closeout game, Chris Paul saved his best shot. Bang, knocked out the Nuggets. Next series against the Clippers, Chris Paul, 41-point game, closeout game.
That hurt.
Playoff career high. He saved his best shot. Last game of the series, boom, knocked out the Clippers.
Okay.
But opening game against the Bucks, Chris Paul averages 19 points a game in these playoffs, 32-point game. So it appears, at least, that Chris Paul, boom, threw his knockout blow in game one. Every time Chris Paul has dropped 30-plus points in the playoffs, they win. We know they're going to win because you're getting an additional 13 points a game from a guy who only scores 19 points a game. You're getting an additional 13-plus points per game when Chris Paul gives you his 30-plus. When he scored 30-plus against the Clippers, knockout blow. They got knocked out. Send him home. Pack your bags. Cancun on 3. When he scored 30 points against the Nuggets, a knockout blow. Pack your bags. Cabo on 3. When he scored 30 points against the Bucks, it's just simply 1-0. Suns. So the Suns got to be encouraged because you just took Chris Paul's shot. Not to say Devin Booker ain't got one for you. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that Ayton might not have something for you. But Chris Paul, who you know has one in the chamber, he got one in the clip and he is going to use it. He used it already. Boom.
Okay.
He got them that dub. Instead of using it for the knockout blow, you already know Chris Paul used it. If I'm a Bucks fan, I understand. Okay, good. We lost the game we were going to lose when Chris Paul scored 30 anyway. Usually he does it to end the series. He did it to take us up to take him up 1-0. It's all good.
It's not all good, but everything you said was correct. Because Chris Paul's out there playing legacy leverage, like in the moment and in totality for his legacy and its leverage. We get it. I understand. If I'm Chris Paul, I'm looking at Devin Booker like, go out there and ball. I'm going to ball harder because I need this to erase some of the stains on my resume that people have been clowning me and ridiculing me with for so long. So I understood that Chris Paul was going to run that first 100 of the 400 like none other. Coach say, hug the curve. You're like, I ain't hugging no curve. I'm running like a straight 100. Okay, I respect that. But here's the problem. After you take that first punch,
yes, sir.
Now you're in Milwaukee. You're sitting there like, that's it? Come on. Here's the problem.
What's the problem?
You ever see one of them dudes where they got them ears, them cauliflowers?
Yes, and you know they've been used to taking them punches.
Yeah. You didn't see him because he had a hoodie on. You like, oh, he 5'7", 130? Come on. And then he took his hoodie off and he had cauliflower ears. You're like, is that DeAndre Ayton? Is that Devin Booker? Oh, hell no. Because guess what? In our game, be real. Beginning of a game, I love being on offense first. I didn't want to step on the field first. Let me see the collision.
Yes.
Let me see the speed.
Yes, you go
Let me
there,
see what y'all doing out there so I can load up properly. Oh, boy. I'm always clipped, but I don't know what to use today.
I got to see what time it is,
okay?
bro.
I got to see what time it is. Because it could get real lethal out here, right? Chris Paul said, hey, I'm 36 in my first finals. I've been pinned up, chomping at the bit. I'm ready. And Devin Booker like, me too. DeAndre Ayton like, me too. He's like, youngsters, let me go step out there and handle this for you first. And then he set the tone. Wedge buster. Trust me, and you know the wedge busters. Psycho like no other players. They are different. Chris Paul went out there and was wedge busting. Y'all got to look out. Here comes the pain. Ayton and Booker didn't even have their greatest games. Ayton close. Didn't have their greatest games. Oh, pain is coming, brother.
Pain is in campaign or pain is in the rest of the pain?
Even more. I forgot about him. R5.
Yo, my dog Marcellus. Every now and then, see, this is what y'all don't realize. Every now and then I forget about the football career until you say something that brings me back to the moment.
Let's go.
Like when the coin toss goes on, you be like, man, I hope they say offense first. Because you just got to see what time it is.
What they doing
You
today?
just got to be like, okay, they hitting or they just hitting? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they really popping these pads? Or, you know what I'm saying? We just out here doing what we got to do to get a dub. I loved your take. I didn't even like it. I loved you. I fell in love with your take. I want to propose to it in the next block. However, I'm looking for silver linings. As a Bucks fan, I'm looking for silver linings. You always bring up these musical references, these 1990s guys, Jodeci, these 1980s characters, songs that I don't know.
Oh, that's why.
But I can bring up guys like Justin Bieber, songs that I do know.
I like him.
And my dog Justin Bieber, he said,
like a Bieber.
"We can go nowhere but up from here, my dear." And I would quote the same thing. We can go nowhere but up from here. These deers.
Oh!
They can't go anywhere but up. And I'll look at it like this. And I'm trying to find silver linings. I'm trying to do it like this.
Girl.
The Bucks went on a 24-11 run. When the Suns spread that lead up to 20, it was like, okay, are you going to fight? Bucks, you got to show some fight. Are the Suns just that much better than you with the hobble Giannis? It was 1:42 left in the third quarter, and the Bucks, they bit down on their mouthpieces. They said, you know what? It's time to start throwing haymakers. They got backed into a corner, and they started fighting. And what we saw, 24-11 run, cut the deficit to 7 points in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes left. Now, did they run out of gas? Obviously. Did they run out of time? Even more so. But the Bucks outscored the Suns in the fourth quarter. The Bucks, when the Suns really said, nah, we about to put y'all away and put y'all to sleep, night, they were like, no, not so fast. Again, the Suns obviously had last night on lock. But if you look at that series and you've looked at the Bucks the entirety of this playoffs, you got nothing to worry about. Nets made the Bucks look bad first round. Even the Hawks stole one from the Bucks in Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals. But the Bucks will do what they always do. They make adjustments and they retaliate.
Boy, if the Nets didn't get hurt, they would still be making the Bucks look bad. But you know what I'm saying, a little bit of that love luck over there. Here's the problem. If you look at the defense of the Bucks, which is supposed to be a strong suit, look, offensively, they were the most scoring team in the NBA this year, so respect to their offense and their duality. But defense is supposed to lead the way when you got Giannis. I'll give you that, Giannis 80%, but they gave up the second most points of the postseason.
True.
Okay, so you're saying that's going to improve. Is Brook Lopez still going to play? Anybody? I don't know how to play basketball, but I always get picked first. I wonder why. Stereotypes. Like I walk in 6'5", 250 with a ball head. What Jordan's on? Oh, it's a wrap. Come on, it's affirmative action. I'm in there. Like they looking for Wiley. That's only the first game. Because after the first game, they're like, we realized, not everyone's qualified. So Marcellus is not qualified to get picked number one again. But I'm always the first pick of the first game. Now, here's the thing. Brook Lopez, we saw you, and we knew we're going to expose you because he got exposed in the last series. Even though you see Brook Lopez, who did do some switching, especially Game 6 last series that really helped him. Game 5, he had 33 points, so respected Brook Lopez. But boy, on them pick and rolls, do they not know your name, number, and face? Come here. And highlight after highlight, depends on which vantage point. Low light after low light, Brook Lopez was sitting there doing this, fouling. Sitting there doing this, getting Jade on. If he's going to be on the court, that's a problem. We need adjustments there. My last point is this. Be careful how you measure what a team is doing in the moments. They balloon up to a 20-point lead. Respect. Then you say, oh, they cut it down to 7. We did something here. Let me take you inside my Tesla. Because in my Tesla, we got a gas pedal and we got a brake. So when I'm boom, I'll beat any car off the line. I dare you, Ferrari, Lamborghini, what you want to do. Then I also got the brake like everybody else. But that thing, it's electric brake. It's like this, like your golf cart. It's like, And then we have something called auto decelerate. You don't know about that, huh? We need to get over here on the other side. Auto decelerate is when I'm not on the gas or the brake. And we just start to slowly decelerate till we get perfectly at that red light waiting for the next one to turn green. When you down 20, sometimes you think you hitting the gas, and that's what they doing. Oh, and they must be on the brakes. Nah, sometimes that cruise control auto decelerate just kicks in, and you think you making up ground. But they ain't using up none of their juice to come back to the pack. Damn, I'm deep.